My girlfriend told me one day, "From now on, I'll be the one who decides when we see each other. Stop pushing so hard." I didn't argue. I simply nodded without saying anything. 2 weeks went by with complete silence. No texts, no calls, no plans to meet. Then one evening, I heard a gentle knock on my door. When I opened it, she was standing there with shiny, tear-filled eyes. In her hands was something that made my heart freeze. "Dear friends, I'm very close to reaching 1,000 subscribers. Your support by subscribing to my channel would mean the world to me. Every single subscription counts. Thank you." I'm 27 years old, and until 3 months ago, I believed my life was completely sorted out. I had been with Lauren for 2 years. We first met at a mutual friend's barbecue, clicked right away, and within 6 months we were basically living together. She worked as a graphic designer, while I was in commercial real estate, a dull job but with decent pay and stability. We had our regular routines. Sunday brunches, Wednesday movie evenings, weekend getaways to her parents' lake house. It felt comfortable and secure. Then around February, everything began to change. She started staying late at work more frequently and took longer to reply to my messages. Whenever I suggested meeting, she would say she was tired or had plans with colleagues. I admit I became needy. I would send several texts asking when we could spend time together, proposing dates, and trying to set plans in advance. In hindsight, I was being too insistent, but I sensed her drifting away and didn't know how else to react. One night in early March, we were at her place. I had brought takeout Thai food which she loved and suggested watching something together. She hardly glanced up from her laptop. "Can we talk?" she said, shutting the screen. "Sure." "What's going on?" I replied. She took a deep breath. "You've been overwhelming lately. All the constant messaging, asking where I am, wanting to meet every other day, it's too much." My stomach sank. "I just miss you, we hardly see each other anymore." "That's because I need space," she said firmly. "So this is what will happen. From now on, I'll decide when we meet." "Stop pressuring me. I'll contact you when I'm ready." I wanted to push back, to explain that relationships should be equal and that this felt like I was being punished. But I didn't want to lose her, so I just nodded. "Okay," I said softly. "I'll wait." She relaxed a bit and reached over to squeeze my hand. "Thank you. I just need some room to breathe." That was March 8th. I remember the date clearly because it was my sister's birthday, and I had left her party early to meet Lauren. The first few days weren't too bad. I stayed occupied, went to the gym more often, reconnected with friends I had been ignoring, and focused hard on a major property deal at work. But by the 5th day, the quiet became unbearable. No morning greetings, no random memes sent during the day. Nothing. I stupidly checked her social media, and she was still posting normally. Photos of coffee mugs, her workspace, a sunset from somewhere in the city. She seemed completely fine. Fine without me. By day 10, I was hardly sleeping. I wrote around 50 messages and deleted them all. My friend Kevin told me to move on, saying she was obviously finished but too scared to admit it. But I couldn't accept that yet. Day 14. 2 full weeks. I had just returned home from work, loosened my tie, and poured myself a whiskey I didn't even want. It was about 7:30 p.m. and already dark outside. Then came the sound, a soft knock at my door. My heart raced. I wasn't expecting anyone. I opened it and there she stood. Lauren, in my hallway. Her eyes were red and watery as if she had been crying. She wore jeans and an oversized sweater, her hair tied back messily, and she was holding a white plastic pharmacy bag. "Can I come in?" she whispered. I stepped aside. She walked in, placed the bag on my kitchen counter, and stood there hugging herself. "What's happening?" I asked, trying to sound calm. She turned toward me, and tears began rolling down her cheeks. "I'm pregnant." The room seemed to spin. I grabbed the counter for support. "What?" "I'm pregnant," she repeated, her voice breaking. "I took 3 tests. They're all positive." I should have felt joy, fear, or anything at all, but all I felt was confusion. We had always been careful. She was on the pill, and we hadn't been intimate in over a month. "Lauren," I said slowly, We haven't been together in weeks." She looked at the floor. I know. The silence between us felt endless. Then whose? I couldn't finish the question. She covered her face with her hands and sobbed. His name is Troy. He's a photographer I work with. It started in January, just once, I swear. It was one stupid mistake after drinks at a client meeting. I thought it was nothing, that I could forget about it and move forward, but then I missed my period. I raised my hand. Stop, just stop. My mind was struggling to process everything. January. She had been cheating since January, all those late nights, all that distance. It wasn't really about needing space. It was about hiding an affair. So the whole I need space thing, I said in an eerily calm voice, was just your way of keeping me away while you sorted this out. No, I mean yes, kind of. But I was confused. I didn't know how to. Get out, she said, startled. What? Get out. I walked to the door and opened it. Take your tests, take your confession, and leave my apartment. Please, just listen. There's nothing left to listen to, I said, still holding the door open. You cheated, you lied. You made me feel like I was the problem for wanting to see my own girlfriend, and now you're pregnant with another man's child. We're finished. She stood there for a moment, tears flowing. Then she grabbed the pharmacy bag and walked past me. She paused at the doorway. I'm sorry, she whispered. I shut the door behind her. I didn't sleep at all that night. I just sat on my couch, staring at the wall, going over every moment of the past 2 months. Every excuse, every avoidance, every time she made me feel irrational for wanting to spend time with her. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I searched through every digital trace I could find, old messages, social media, emails. That's when I discovered Troy's profile. Photographer, mid-30s, with a pretentious bio about capturing raw human emotion. He had posted a picture 2 weeks earlier with Lauren visible in the background at an art gallery event. The caption read something like, "Inspiring evening with inspiring people." I felt nauseous. But then I noticed a comment from a woman named Rachel. Didn't know you were back out there. Thought you and Melissa were still working things out. I went back to his profile and scrolled further. There was Melissa, his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. Their couple photos stopped around December, with no breakup announcements or signs that things had ended. I took screenshots of everything. 3 days later, Lauren texted me. She wanted to meet and discuss next steps. I agreed to see her at a coffee shop near my office. She looked worn out, with dark circles under her eyes and messy hair. Part of me wanted to feel sorry for her. The other part remembered exactly why we were there. I'm keeping the baby, she said right away, before I even sat down. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's not my decision to make, I cut in. It's not my child, she flinched. I know, but I thought you deserved to know. Troy doesn't want anything to do with it. When I told him, he accused me of trying to trap him and said he'd need a paternity test first. Smart guy, I muttered. I deserve that, she said quietly. Look, I know I ruined everything between us. I'm not asking you to forgive me or take me back. I just needed you to know the full truth. Have you told Melissa? I asked. Her face turned white. Who? Troy's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend? It's hard to tell from his Instagram, she stammered. I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I took out my phone and showed her the screenshots. January through December. Lots of couple photos. So either he was cheating on her with you, or they were on a break and he conveniently forgot to mention it. Lauren looked like she might be sick. Oh my God. Yeah, I said, standing up. Looks like we were both being fooled. Good luck with everything, Lauren, I mean that. I walked out before she could say anything else. 2 weeks after that coffee shop conversation, I received a message request on Instagram from Melissa. She had seen an old comment I left on one of Troy's posts and connected the dots that I was linked to Lauren. Her message was direct. Hi. This is strange, but I think we should talk about Troy and your ex. We met for drinks that evening. Melissa was sharp, straightforward, and angrier than I had ever been. It turned out Troy had been telling her they were working on their relationship, that he needed space but still loved her, all while seeing Lauren. When Lauren told him about the pregnancy, He panicked and confessed everything to Melissa, begging for forgiveness. He said it was a one-time mistake, Melissa said bitterly, that she came on to him and he was drunk. Classic, I replied. Lauren said almost the exact same thing. One time, she was confused. Drinks were involved. Melissa laughed without humor. They deserve each other. Except now she's pregnant, and he's terrified about child support destroying his art career. We talked for hours. We shared stories, compared timelines, and realized how much of our recent lives had been based on lies and manipulation. By the end of the night, we weren't exactly friends, but we truly understood each other. "What are you going to do?" I asked as we were leaving. She gave a cold smile. "Troy has a showcase next month. Big gallery opening with potential investors and everything. I'm going to make sure every person there learns exactly what kind of man he really is." I didn't ask for more details. I didn't need to. Final update. It's been 3 months since that evening Lauren showed up at my door. I haven't spoken to her since the coffee shop meeting. Through mutual friends, I heard she moved back to her parents' place upstate. The baby is due in November. Troy, after the paternity test confirmed it was his, signed away his parental rights. He paid her a settlement to avoid any future obligations. Melissa followed through on her plan. She showed up at Troy's gallery opening with printed evidence, messages, photos, and a full timeline of his lies to both her and Lauren. She didn't cause a loud scene or shout. She simply handed them out like flyers to everyone who entered. His career didn't completely collapse, but several big investors pulled out. Last I heard, he had moved to Portland. As for me, I'm doing fine. Actually, better than fine. I started therapy and realized I had ignored many warning signs because I was scared of being single. It turns out being alone is much better than being with someone who makes you question your own sanity. Kevin introduced me to his cousin last week. We had coffee, talked for 3 hours, and she actually texted me afterwards saying she wanted to meet again. It felt natural and easy, the way things are supposed to feel. I don't hate Lauren anymore. I don't feel much of anything when I think about her now, and that feels like the healthiest sign. She made her decisions, I made mine, and now we're both dealing with the results. Many people have asked if I ever received real closure or a proper apology. No, and I don't need one anymore. Closure is something you create for yourself, not something you wait for others to give you. Someone asked if I would ever consider getting back together with Lauren if she reached out. Absolutely not. The trust is completely broken. You can't repair a foundation that was never strong in the first place.